Hi Lubomira. Hi Yves. Thank you for joining us today. Very happy to launch actually this AI for Finance with you on the topic of building the next generation of banking with AI. Just quick intro, if I may. Lubomira, you are Executive Vice President of Société Générale in charge of retail activities in France, insurance, private banking, and CEO office, and a member of ExCo of Société Générale. Correct? Good.
Correct.
And Yves, you are CEO of Digital and Payments of BPCE and also ExCo member of BPCE Group. Correct? Good.
Yes.
So to maybe to launch the discussion, let's take a step back here and looking at what's going through. Both of you have led very large-scale transformation, including digital ones, right? In very, very innovative companies, sorry. The question is, for you, is it just a next move of a previous transformation? Is something very different here? Lubomira, maybe?
I think it's a bit of both. Number one, in finance, AI is not new. It's been years and years and years that we are working on AI. I mean, AI doesn't start with generative AI, right? So we're working on AI on scoring, predictive analytics of all sorts, models. This has been the core of banking for many, many years. Of course, when Gen AI comes, it of course triggers a new wave of innovation. So that's point one. Point two, AI transformation, at the end of the day, it's a transformation. And when you say transformation, there are a couple of things that I think I have learned. Maybe you can share that, Yves. But number one is focus. Focus, and I think that at the start of this AI revolution, whatever we call it, people have started doing like hundreds of use cases all across, enterprises. It's a little bit like a Maoist revolution, like let 100 flowers bloom, and at the end of the day, there's zero impact, and it doesn't scale. So the number one thing I would recommend from a transformation, culture point of view is to focus, focus, focus. The second thing is really around impact, and you have to start from your P&L. What is going to create an impact in banking? I don't know what you think, Yves, but probably we will be in agreement. There are a couple of ways to see it, but number one is efficiency, re-engineering processes, creating efficiencies in the back office, in the front office, in the middle office. And number two is productivity for the people. So this is really, at the end of the day, the strategy is not rocket science for us. The strategy is really to focus on those two areas, giving AI in the hands of the maximum number of people. We have 35,000 people using AI every day. And this is what we call productivity for all, from very basic use cases of helping you writing email, helping a relationship manager in a branch to prepare the next meeting, etc., etc. And the other side is taking all the macro processes that are running and that are making a bank run. You have probably 50 of them, mega processes, and re-engineering them through essentially agentic AI. So I would say focus, have a clear strategy, not too complicated, so that it can be executed, and execution.
Yves?
Just I will start by a first remark. I think your event is adopt AI. For next event, please, you can translate, I will say, the speech of everybody into its, we can use our natural language. I think it will be much, no, but just for you to use AI capabilities. But anyway, just if we speak about...
we'll try.
I think it would be good. But anyway, I think that AI is the next big thing after internet and mobile internet. Really, it is the next big thing. And in terms of adoption, it came so rapidly because it is so easy to use. And by the way, there's something else that you can build your AI services on top of the internet, of the existing internet infrastructure. Even if you need to invest massively on AI, you can leverage what is existing. That's important. It explains the reason why it goes so fast. But I think that we have two main differences between AI and internet and mobile internet. The first difference, I believe, is that we must confess that internet and mobile internet didn't change a lot the internal process in the company. It changed a lot. The customer UX, the customer experience, it changed a lot the way we interact with customer, the way we sell, it creates new business model. But for companies, it didn't change a lot the way we work. Gen AI will change that. It will change the way we sell. It will change also the way we work. So that's extremely important because it will change the front to back, the back office, and all the internal processes of all companies, I believe, including banks, of course. There's a second difference, I believe. This is regulation. Remember, we need to wait for 10 to 50 in Europe. I mean, because the situation in other continents are extremely different. But we had to wait for 10 to 15 years after the launch of internet to start to have a regulation. GDPR, it was available in 2016, not before. For AI in Europe, that's completely different. We already, more or less, AI Act available, which will change a lot the way we're using and we develop our AI services. But these are the two main differences. And for the banking industry, that's very important. I think that we will reshape completely all our internal processes. All the internal processes, risk and compliance, sales processing, ordering, call center, everything will be reshaped by AI. You mentioned predictive AI. We're already using it since decades. But Gen AI is the new wave. And I think we will leverage both predictive AI and generative AI. And so I think we need to start by the adoption, the massive adoption for our customer, but also for our employees. And after it will create value. It has to be done in two steps. But according to us, this is the third revolution after internet and mobile internet.
So massive transformation. Let's take a moment on your priorities and key bets. I think, but tell me if you disagree, but I think there's no creativity on the process you will reshape. You can be Revolut, Nubank, BPCE, SocGen, name it. At the end of the day, you focus on all the main top processes. Maybe the difference is, and you name it, is the execution. So could you please share with us some detail on how you execute your strategy? Maybe Lubomira first.
So number one, it has to be owned by the businesses. It seems pretty obvious what I'm saying, but it has to be supported and owned by the businesses. So in our case, it is the businesses who have decided on all the things we can do and start by doing, the ones that they believe will create the maximum impact for their business, in the investment bank, in the retail bank, in the mobility businesses. So this is how it started. It's not like, someone or a consultant or someone, outside of we decided and we own it. Then it cannot be something done by someone else. It has to be done within the businesses. So we have created teams, not too big, not too small, with what's needed in every team, from technical to business roles, all in agile. And the idea is to iterate and to build. And this something we can discuss later is the equilibrium and the balance to find between building and complying. So this is not an easy one, especially in this industry. I've been familiar with industry that were less regulated. This is a highly regulated industry for all the good reasons. So it has to be an equilibrium that needs to be found. So that's number one. Number two, the beauty of AI as it is now is that it's a Lego box. So building the AI platform and then the agentic platform is what needs to be done. So this should be done and everything is moving so fast that what's a bit difficult right now is that you have to build in a very agnostic way, because the LLM you use today or the RAG you use today or the OCR you use today tomorrow will be replaced by something else 10 times better. And so this is from an architectural point of view a bit the thing. So business ownership, building the platforms and the components that can be reused by the different projects and the different teams is very, very important. Cadencing is key. I mean, just to give you a very concrete example, in SocGen we have every second week we have a full operational AI committee, and our CEO, Slawomir Krupa, is planning to attend them, which is super exciting. Of course, you have your CEO attending the operational committee every second week. You're like, it helps speed and execution. And I would say, to finish, I would say that, as always in my experience with the digital transformation or with this one, boring is the new sexy. Because you can have like very shiny strategy and everything, but at the end of the day, it is data unification, foundation, vector databases. It's all of that, semantic grounding of all of that, and this is what will create the value. And this is what creates time. I mean, knowledge management. Knowledge management can seem like super boring. It's completely key. It's completely key. At the end of the day, garbage in, garbage out, and the companies that will have a real value add and a real time to market advantage are the companies that are documenting everything, that are really working on using like underlying systems like the Slacks of the whatever you call it, but that everything is documented. When you have call centers, everything is transcripted. So of course it goes faster when you have to train a model. I mean, all of that is super, super important. And don't minimize the importance of that. Foundation, boring stuff, go for it, because this is how you can scale and have production grade systems at the end of it. And the last thing I would mention is it takes a village. It takes a village. So of course you have the AI and the data scientists, the AI people, the data scientists, but you have of course the business people, because these are the people who know what needs to be re-engineered, how it needs to be done, etc. But you also have in our teams, you have the compliance, you have the risk, you have the cybersec, you have the IT, and this is really, because at the end of the day you have to integrate that into your systems, right? So it is this village that for every project that we do, every KYC re-engineering we do, every mortgage granting we do, every credit granting we do, I mean, this is the teams that are going to make it a difference.
So in your sense, we are doing a lot of boring stuff within Artefact.
I think, it's not a surprise that Meta paid 14 billion for acquiring not a super stratospheric strategic company, but a company that does data labeling, right? So,
yeah. Yves?
Execution. That's all. And also step by step. And our strategy is based on 2 pillars. The first pillar is AI for all. Mm-hmm. And the second one is what we call transformative AI. So if I start by focusing, and maybe I will share with you a few figures, few numbers regarding the adoption rate that we have. Regarding AI for all, we have developed, I think you did the same, secure AI chat, an internal one, because we didn't want our employees to use ChatGPT and the others because it's absolutely unsecured. And today it provides, I would say, our employees a set of AI agents for their daily life, for all internal function. Could be legal, sales, IT, risk, compliance, all of them. And today, the first, at the beginning when we started, we launched it, the Maya, this is the name of our internal chat. This is Monde Intelligence Artificielle, or my AI assistant.
Our Maya is called Lassie.
Thank you. And today, our goal at the beginning was to reach 50% of the employees using Maya regularly. It means at least more than 20 times over per month. And our objective was 50% of the employees using it by the end of 26. The situation of today is that it is already done. So we have 50,000 people at BPCE using regularly Maya. It's a real success, I believe. And that's absolutely key because by adopting, you would say, all these services, it makes that people, they want it. And we have a very high NPS, which is absolutely key. We track it. And I think that's the first pillar, AI for all. The second one is transformative AI. So as you said, Borima, we have a very selective approach. We have defined 5 areas, 5 strategic domains.
Okay.
So, and for each of them, the first KPI is adoption. And after, we want to track the value creation. So value creation could be additional revenues, it could be cost savings, it could be also cost avoidance.
Yeah.
So maybe if I give you a few figures regarding all these 5 priorities. The first one is about the bank advisor. So we're starting providing them with a specific AI agent. During the last 6 months, we started developing and deploying them. And we already have 75% of the sales advisor using it. So just to prepare their meeting with a customer, and to speak with a customer during the meeting, and also for the feedback after the meeting. So, and again, the NPS is very good, and the adoption was done very quickly with a very high NPS. After, what we want in terms of KPIs is not only the adoption, it is to create new revenues for the bank. The second one is for our customer. You know, we have an online banking, as everybody, you know, right? And we have 12 million customers per day using our mobile app. And we have launched a specific AI agent for our customer. After 6 months, we already have 1 million discussions on our website, which is a good start, I feel. The third one is what we are doing for our call center. Approximately, we have 12 million discussions per year. We have already 1 million discussions been fully automatized using a voice AI agent. I don't speak about fraud, because we never speak about fraud, but predictive AI is key to prevent us from fraud. And we track more than 11 billion transactions per year with AI. And regarding IT, this is the fifth one. We absolutely want IT support to use the AI regularly. And today we have a third of our IT employees using the IT agent on a day-to-day basis. So that's a good beginning. We have a good traction, a lot of usage. Now the question in the coming month, how can we turn this massive adoption into, more efficient, operational efficiency and value creation KPIs. So this is our, for the next 18 months will be our main challenge.
So clear strategy, execution. I guess it's not an easy road. Maybe that's why now Adopt AI, it's 2 days. It was 1 day last year. Probably it's becoming harder and harder. So question maybe to conclude for both of you. What is the main challenges or obstacles you see in front of us in the next, let's say, 18 months? Maybe Lubomira.
So I would say number one is training and adoption.
Yeah.
And again, today it's not a question to know if we have to train or not. If we don't train our people, we have a social responsibility, to be honest, as companies. If we don't train our people on using AI, we fail them. So training is super important. You have developed a large-scale training program. I'm sure you'll talk about it. We do the same. Thousands and thousands of people are getting through it, learning how to use very concretely, very concrete. Again, it's not rocket science. It's very concrete use cases. How can the Copilot chat help me, describe all my emails of the week, the most important one, help me answer it. I mean, it's very concrete stuff, but it's very important because this is where you create real productivity. Access to talents, of course. So it's a fast-growing industry, and this is where a lot of people are repainting themselves as AI specialists and everything. So you have to bit of triage who's who. So that's really important. Have access to talents. Have access to talents that are coming from hardcore research also, because today, I mean, the models work the way they work, but there's a lot of architectural innovation, both at the model level, but at the data center level. FinOps is completely key because all of that is not completely for free, because people it's like with the digital at the beginning, I don't know if you remember, people thought digital advertising is cheap. Well, it's not. The cloud is not cheap and the AI is not cheap. So you have to be really kind of smart in the way you architecture the whole thing. And usually in the companies you have a lot of data scientists, you have some AI people, whatever we call it, but at the end of the day you want to have good architects and people who understand the architecture and the financial implication of the architecture you are choosing to deploy, because this could have massive impacts down the road. So access to talent, I would say, is completely key. But to finish, maybe I would like to kind of open more into the opportunities, and because we talk about the challenges, but the opportunities are fantastic, especially in a very in an industry like banking. I'm explaining myself. We could both be considered as legacy in the sense of we have for us 160 years of history. We have an IT system that is built across these 160 years of history, and sometimes those legacy systems can be clunky, they can be fragmented, they can be complicated. It's not called legacy for no reason, right? The beauty of especially agentic AI, when built well, is that it can take on its shoulders, the agents can take on their shoulders a part of all the complexity that our people are dealing with every day. And so when you work in retail banking and when you sit near the relationship manager or the front officer or the back officer, you quickly realize how fantastic agentic AI can be for them, because then every very mundane, boring, repetitive, complicated, because you have to open 5 windows, things that they do every day can be automated or helped through by agentic systems. This is massive because at the end of the day, I completely agree with you, but on the value it creates. But the first value is to carve out time, commercial time, for our people, so that they can focus on the commercial relationship, that they can focus on the clients and serving the clients. This is key. I mean, this is the number one reason in retail banking why we do that. So overcoming the complexity of legacy system is completely key, and in a way it levels the playing field with the new entrants, which is interesting for us, obviously. And the second thing I want to mention as an opportunity is it is a regulated industry. We have had a lot of years of sedimentation of processes, of over-processes, of over-processes. And for me, I see AI, and especially, we discussed about AI for all, but also the re-engineering of the value chains, front to back, of the processes, the macro processes. This is a fantastic trigger, the AI revolution and the agentic revolution. It's a fantastic trigger to re-interrogate all our processes. Okay, let's take the mortgage processes. We have 15 steps. Why do we have 15 steps in the first place? Because at the end of the day, if you put agentic onto a broken process where it's not simplified, if you don't think zero-based from the beginning, it's like putting lipstick on a pig. It doesn't resolve the underlying problem, right? So I would say the AI thing is really interesting because it will help us as industry to really reinterrogate the complexity of our processes and getting faster, better, again, giving more time to our people to focus on what really matters, which is serving the clients.
Thanks. Yves?
Talking about conviction, I would like to share my first conviction regarding AI. I think that Gen AI will not be the same everywhere, because the culture and the regulation are different. Even if the technology is more or less the same, I think the way we will deploy AI in the US, in China, either in Europe, will be different. And I see ahead us 3 main challenges. The first one is the challenge of ethics. We need to make sure, I think maybe it's more adapt to Europe and to the European citizen, but I think we need to make sure that we respect data property, we ensure clear consent, and also that we ensure the transparency of algorithm. That's the first point. So I think that ethics will be a key success factor to be successful for our different deployment of AI. The second challenge to me, is sovereignty. I'm not only speaking about, let's say, regulation, even if in the banking industry we need to face, I would say, we have some vertical, horizontal regulation, and it will have a big impact on the way we deploy AI. It's like that, and we need to work with, I would say, with the regulation. The third one is about partnership. So we had that discussion together just before the session. It will be very difficult for, even if we are big, we need to partnership. We need to share technology, and if we don't, I think we will lose sovereignty. I have an experience, I am also in charge of payment at BPCE, and we have launched, it was 4 years ago, a very good initiative called EPI, which is we have 20 banks developing a new payment scheme altogether, just to compete against the big tech giant. I think we should do the same for AI. It's not only between banks, it's also with third parties.
Yeah.
But I think collaboration, partnership will be key, and it has to be done in the coming month. And of course, I will not repeat what you said, Birama, but agentic AI will be extremely important. It will change completely the way we do our process end to end. And but at the end of the day, we need to execute. And I think we need to provide our customer, to provide our employees a very secure and very reliable, with a very high quality of service AI. If we are not able to provide them with such, let's say, high quality services, will not be successful.
Lubomira, Yves, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Happy to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.